Hello, my name is Andrea, and I'm in the process of making big changes through small scale gardening. The other day, I was talking to my mom who lives in Ohio, and she asked me to create a YouTube channel. So here I am. The background story is I moved to Zone 8A over 20 years ago. My mom is in Ohio, and I'm over 500 miles away. And recently, we've been bonding over my gardening stories. The gardening bug hit me. It bit me really hard a few years ago. And last year, I just really dedicated myself to thinking more about what I'm ingesting, taking more responsibility for my food choices. And that led to me really expanding my growing. So I've been sharing a lot with my mom, who finds it super interesting because when I was a little girl, my grandfather always had a garden in the backyard. He grew greens and things like that. In Ohio, I remember fish heads in the garden. I remember watermelon rinds in the garden. And, I was young, I wasn't interested. And then as I got older, my mom always had beautiful gardens. My mom won awards with the city of Akron because her lawn and her gardens were always beautiful. Again, I just wasn't interested. I wanted to be outside. And then I was focused on becoming the next Oprah Winfrey. And that really didn't work out for me. But I don't know, something about now or something about the last couple of years, I've really been hyper focused on being more self-sufficient and taking more responsibility for my food choices. And so I'm currently growing in a community garden in Zone 8A, and you now get to join me and learn with me as I create stories to share with my mom. Here's my walk to my community garden plot that is in the back of the community garden. Here are all of my neighbors. Most of them rest during the winter. And here is my plot. It is a mess, but it's mine, and it will be prettier momentarily. But honestly, if you're looking for a neat and prim and proper garden, this will not be the channel for you. I went away for a couple of days and all of my collards bolted. We've had 70-degree temperatures. We've had 20-degree temperatures. So the collards just don't know what to do. So they're doing what they do, and they're bolting. But I was told that I could come and clip the flowers off and continue to harvest the leaves. So today, because we're expecting a freeze tonight, I'm going to come in and I am going to harvest the cabbage. Even though it all didn't head up, I'm going to harvest the cabbage and use the leaves that are still good. And I'm going to harvest some of the collard leaves, and I'm going to cut off the flowers, and I'm going to harvest some kale. And then I'm going to cover my strawberry towers and cover my blackberry bush. Someone gave me this little clipping of a blackberry bush at the beginning of fall, and I planted it, and it's been here all winter, and I've never covered it, but someone told me that you're supposed to cover it when it freezes. So I'm going to cover that, and that's all I'm really doing today. It's going to be cold. It's late. I work. I had planted spinach here, and I think I see like maybe 2. The rest of these I think are weeds that need to come up. And I planted like 8 spinaches and 6 lettuces, and I don't see any of that. I think the birds got it. So lesson learned, if I do replant, I'll need to make sure I'm protecting. I bought this compost composter a few months ago. I got an Amazon gift card for my birthday, and I couldn't figure out what to use it on, and I finally bought this composter. We finally put it together just last weekend, and I brought it out, and I'm noticing that I'm getting compost tea underneath the composter, which would be great to have to actually compost my plants. So when I come back out here, I'm going to need to bring something to collect that, so it's not just going to waste. But today I brought some spent coffee beans that I got from Starbucks. They gave me a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to add that to my greens, because in the composter right now, I have scraps. I've been juicing, and so I've been putting the scraps in the freezer, waiting to have the composter together. But I'm going to go ahead and add the coffee beans, and then the next time I come out, I'll bring a tray to collect the juice from the scraps. I tried these Dollar Tree planters. I have strawberries growing in them at various stages. You see, this one didn't do so well. I'm gonna just leave things until it warms up and kind of see how things go. I mulched with some paper, brown paper that I had at home, and I've been away for a couple of weeks, so I haven't been watering this, and I know these get dry really fast, but I'm not gonna water this today. One of the challenges of having the community garden is that they actually shut the water off during the winter season. The water will not be back on until after the last projected frost date. So I have to bring water whenever I come, because I do grow all year round. So I didn't bring water with me today, but that's okay. I'll be back up here. There's a community cleaning day, garden cleanup day on Saturday. So I'll be back up here Saturday. I'll bring water then. I don't even know if it would make sense to put water in these pots if there's going to be a frost. So I'm just gonna cover, I brought some bags, I'm just gonna cover them up and create kind of like a greenhouse for them for the next couple of days. It's gonna be right back up to 70 in a couple of days. So I'm just gonna give them a little bit of protection from the frost that's coming. Okay, I really needed bigger bags. I didn't realize how tall the towers were. I just feel like these are gonna fly away as soon as I leave, as soon as the wind blows. I think what I'm gonna do is just put some rocks in some of the areas where I'm not using, where I'm not filling the pots. What do you think? Is that gonna work? I just held down a couple of the areas that don't have anything in them with rocks. And I'm hoping that's going to hold the plastic on here just long enough to make it through this freeze that we're gonna have tonight. I had to put my hair up. It is just too, my hair is too long, and I hate for my hair to get dirty. I don't want to touch in the ground, so I had to put my hair up. But I have my box cutter, and I'm getting ready to harvest cabbage. One of the heads of cabbage had these really moldy leaves. I really can't show it great, but it didn't look good. Like ordinarily I don't like waste, so I would just pull the leaves off and throw them away and save what was still good, but this just didn't make the cut. I didn't even want to put it in my compost. So I decided to just throw it away. Okay, so not a bad March harvest. I got 3 heads of cabbage. I threw 1 whole head away. I did harvest a bit of kale, left most of it there, but I wanted to put some kale in my noodles tomorrow, so I went ahead and got some while I was here today. Okay, so if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to get a better tripod. That's okay. You live and you learn. This one just keeps slipping. It's not balanced. So I think it was 10 bucks on Amazon. Maybe I'll invest in a $20 tripod. But this is my first of Land and Leaf video. I hope that you will subscribe and continue to share my letters to my mom.